Alright guys, I promised you cringe in my last video, so we are going to get into the cringe now. You know, the funny thing is, after this last year, and I mentioned in the previous video about like getting blackpilled on all the bad games that released and all the flops, right? You know, you kind of figure that maybe these developers, maybe these studios, would realize that a bunch of ugly, shaved head lesbians are not exactly what's going to sell video game, consumers on their product. It's if you're trying to market something for gamers. I know we've recently gotten into the whole Goonergate thing and all the Civil War situations within Gamergate itself. Take that all that stuff aside. If you just want to make good games that sell, why don't you just create generally attractive characters, good-looking characters, not weird androgynous shaved head non-binary lesbians? Well, clearly, Naughty Dog, the makers of course, Last of Us 1 and 2, which features a plethora of unattractive characters, and of course, non-binary transgender characters as well, because they like to push that agenda, that message, created this new game called Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. So, as you can see right off the bat, we're looking at this Asian woman with a bald-ass head, right? There's not a whole lot more to it than that. It is pure cringe. But now we see from the New York Times here, it says, creator of The Last of Us reveals a new sci-fi game. Neil Druckmann said Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, the adventure of a galactic bounty hunter would be a story about faith. Okay. After becoming known for cinematic storytelling and heartbreaking realism through franchises such as The Last of Us and Uncharted, Neil Druckmann said his next video game would take place in the fantastical reaches of space, where a tattooed bounty hunter watches anime and drives a Porsche-branded rocket ship. Oh my god, this is going to be solid gold, guys. The story is quite ambitious, centering on a fictitious religion and what happens when you put faith in different institutions, said Druckmann. Do you want to bet this is going to be some sort of weird deconstructionist thing about, like, not trusting religion as a whole? Oh my god. Development company owned by Sony Interactive Entertainment, Druckmann has also written and directed episodes of HBO's The Last of Us, which tells the story of grief and grudges in post-apocalyptic America. The new game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, was announced on Thursday in a cryptic trailer at the Game Awards that showed a few seconds of gameplay in which the protagonist battles a hulking cyborg with sword-like weapons. The story is set in an alternative universe where space travel has significantly advanced by 1986. And of course, featuring this character, this Asian woman with a bald head with the 80s looking outfit with the laser looking sword. Again, it's very obviously it's supposed to take place in a certain time period. You're supposed to get like these member-berry feelings like back to the 80s, but from a sci-fi perspective. But of course, people are roasting the hell out of this because here we have another game featuring another strong independent woman who don't look like a woman. And Endymion saying, be Naughty Dog, make Last of Us Part 2, which sold half of what Part 1 sells because people were sick of the girl boss agenda. Be Naughty Dog, double down on said girl boss agenda anyways by making players inhabit a bald-headed space lesbian who must save the guy from Eternals who can't stop talking about diversity. Then, of course, Memology says Naughty Dog is allergic to feminine women. And I think that is 100% the main issue that we have here, is that they just don't want attractive female characters in their games. Kata here saying, classic Neil, stealing from better things and acting like he made it better. And of course, Vera pointing out that Naughty Dog's new game isn't even being ratioed, and they've already turned off the comments LMAO. But if you go to the video, in fact, I'll bring it up here on Chrome, I do believe it is going to get ratioed pretty soon here. So you can see it's currently sitting at 11,000 likes to 2.8 thousand dislikes. At least by this time tomorrow, if enough people see this trailer's only got 7,800 views. Compare this to the Elden Ring 2 trailer that we just saw. This is like night and day. The Witcher 4 trailer has massive more amount, like a much higher amount of views than this trailer, because people generally just don't care about this agenda-pushing crap anymore. People are sick and tired of it. But of course, Learning the Law also points out that this is your latest upcoming PlayStation flop for the modern audience. And yeah, it just looks like cringe. Says bro has a fetish for making they-them protagonists twice as muscular as him. And this does give me like, what's her name? Ashley from Last of Us Part 2 vibes. It's very strange. So a big part of the reason for this is the fact that they've chosen to cast this particular person in the role of the main character. Name is Tati Gabrielle from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, something I've never seen or heard of, will star as the bounty hunter Jordan Munn. People were making fun of the name. I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to sound like man, but it's very interesting. But if you don't know who Tati Gabrielle is, this is her in all of her glory. in an interview with The List, which I can only assume is a left-leaning queer online outlet, maybe, who knows. Tati Gabrielle discusses avoiding LGBTQ stereotypes in her projects. Exclusive! So it's really funny. A person who is probably LGBT herself wants to avoid stereotypes, so she goes around everywhere looking like a complete freak or with a gigantic bald-ass head. Very interesting. So this article says that LGBT movies and TV fans have been fighting for authentic representation on screen. And this is something I want to point out to you guys. We've seen this time and time again, and this is the new Ghost of Tsushima game, Ghost of Yotei, coming up with this woman, Erika Ishii, who's a lesbian herself, or an LGBT ally, however she identifies. J.P. Carlisle, who was Morph, and Joker from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. These people are fighting for what they call authentic representation. So when they get cast for a role, the role better be LGBT or they're not going to be in it because they want it to be authentic. This is a word we are seeing time and time again with this voice actor garbage. Authentic representation, okay? It says, for too long, queer characters have typically fallen into three tropes: a stereotype character for comedic value, an expendable character used to further the trauma or arc of the straight lead, and torture plot lines that rarely show any queer joy. Not cool. Yet, in spite of a slew of legislation that's trying to silence and remove rights, yada, 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 yada. Okay. One such actor is Tati Gabrielle. And it says that they invited her to The List to talk to her about, of course, all of her queerness and all this wonderful stuff. So it says right here, when we asked Tati Gabrielle what it means to her to tell these stories in a way that avoids stereotypes, she said, "It means the world to me, especially within my art. I feel that film and television is supposed to reflect the world back at itself. Authentic representation is important to Gabrielle," who added, "When you do that with the characters that I played in a way that is grounded, that is normal, as it is in our everyday life, that's how you give the best homage to someone who is standing in that field." Something that we see of now that was almost unheard of even a decade ago is black-led queer fantasy, sci-fi, and other genre films and TV shows. Gabrielle commented on what she'd like to see more of from these and what steps the industry can take to better support these shows to avoid cancellation. They can go further, she said, as opposed to having just one character that's LGBT or non-binary, make it reflect the way that our society is. Sprinkle more in there. Oh my, just sprinkle them around. Tati Gabrielle also simply wants networks to listen. Networks can listen more to the fans and pander more to them by listening and understanding that when they're shouting their outrage towards things, it's not just because they want to be bratty and they want to be whatever, but they want to be represented properly, she explained. They want to see themselves. We all watch movies as children and find a piece of ourselves in a character, and that's what gives us inspiration or hope for our own future. If they listen a little bit more, we can go a lot further. Oh boy, guys. This one is DOA. This one is going to be a massive, smelly flop. I cannot wait. Hey guys, hey console warriors, people that want to fight Xbox versus PlayStation, y'all can have this one. I don't need to play this on PC. I'm good. You guys let me know what you think about all this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.